great to have him here. Of course, he's involved as probably one of the media kings of Melbourne now, the great Daniel Harford on RSN and on 3AW, and also the coach of Carlton AFLW. And Harf, I know it's your old team, St Mary's, you were playing against today with Camberwell Sharks. Always sad when an incident like this happens.
Yeah, no good, Dan. It was a bit of a concern for our man TT there, but he's okay. He's conscious, he's talking, he's got feeling in all the parts of his body. He needs to have feeling in with the neck injury. So all the signs at this stage are relatively positive, and that's all we really care about at the moment.
Were you worried when you first saw it?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah. When you see a kid who's not moving on the ground, I mean, as a coach, as a parent, as anyone in responsibility of young people, it's a horrible feeling to have, but we're more concerned about how he was at the time, I must admit.
Now, we were having a bit of a chat over there. There was a bit of mayhem, wasn't there, about should we go on, shouldn't we go on? I mean, there's another media superstar there as well. They're everywhere today. Ian Cohen.
What's he doing?
Yeah, well, he's here for Hawthorn Citizens, of course.
Oh, of course he is.
His son plays for Hawthorn Citizens, so we'll probably get him to have a chat as well because he loves it too. But there was mayhem about whether we should start 30 minutes once the incident occurs and when, if required, the ambulance leaves the field. And we were probably under 30, but the umpires had already called it.
Well, yeah, I didn't know the rule, I must admit. So it's not something I sort of read too deep into, that level of the rule book at the start of the season. So I didn't know it. Our team manager was in discussion with the umps and with the St Mary's team manager as well. And got the feedback from the umpires that the game had been called off. And it was funny because I came out with my boards and ready to sort of say goodbye to everyone. And I turned the corner and the St Mary's boys are just about to run onto the field, ready to warm up to play again. So I'm thinking, what's going on here? So there was a bit of confusion about that. We all want to play. I think all the boys want to play. And then we want to encourage young people to play sport and keep them out there and be active and all that sort of stuff. So we wanted, ideally, to play the game, but the umpires weren't happy to do it. So in the end, they make the rules. So
do you think, though, there needs to be a concrete rule in place that's 30 minutes? Or do you think the umpires, if they feel that the incident is serious, and it was serious. We know that St Mary's had an incident themselves with the coach's son last week who's got a neck injury, but he's going to be okay, which is good. Probably won't play footy. But do you think that if the umpires feel that they're a bit worried, that it's their discretion, even if it's under the 30 minutes?
I think in the end, the umpires are the bosses.
Yeah.
That's my take on sport, let alone this situation. The umpires are the bosses. Now, whether or not they need a bit more concrete guidelines or some support in decisions like this, because calling off a game is a big decision. So that maybe if they need more support, there might need to be more support around them in these situations, that they could check with someone about how to handle that if they're not quite sure or not quite comfortable. But in the end, if that's not there, the umpires are the bosses, I suppose.
You love coaching. You're coaching the Camberwell Sharks Under 15s. What's it like coaching the juniors, including your son, compared to coaching the AFLW at Carlton?
Well, very different level of intensity. I'll give you the tip. The girls are a bit more full on than what these boys here. But that's great. I mean, I like being involved. It's nice to be able to spend some time with my son through this period. I normally work Sundays, so I've taken that off this year to be a part of this and spend some more time with him, which is nice. And then you're a part of the journey of young men evolving into men, real men. So being a part of that's really cool, and that's a responsibility I take pretty seriously. So it's nice. Yeah, it's different to the girls. They want to be the best that they could be. They want to be full-time footballers, and they commit unbelievably to the program, the AFLW, and I love that about them. And it's the AFL, so it's a fairly significant competition, isn't it?
It is.
So we've got good support, good resourcing and backing, and we've got great opportunities as a result of that. So it's a really exciting venture to be a part of, 6 years in, or 6 seasons in. And it's only going to get better as the years go on. But it's very, very different worlds. The community sport world's very different to the semi-professional world.
And how much more work is there involved this year, considering we're going to have 2 seasons in the 1 year, and we'll have 18 teams this year? What sort of comp do you think we'll get?
We'll get a split comp, I think. I think the good teams will be really good, and there'll be a hole in the middle, and then there'll be some teams who are trying to find their way in the competition. So I think it's going to be a bit of a split competition. I hope not. I hope it's a really active and vibrant competition. But I think history says expansion's difficult, and the teams that have been a part of expansion the last couple of years have had challenges being consistent week in, week out. So that's what history tells me. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it is a really competitive environment every week for every game.
What's good about the Camberwell Sharks?
It's close to home.
Yeah.
It's 200 metres down the road. So
that's good.
That's really good. Helpful, Dan.
Yes, of course it is.
No, they're a really good footy club. They're a big footy club, like St Mary's, being part of that many years ago.
Yes, you were.
They're a really big footy club. They're all about participation and getting as many kids playing sport as possible, and I love that about them. And they've got really good people organising it and running it, and passionate support and volunteers. So that's good. If you've got that sort of environment, that sort of community, it's nice to be a part of that.
And what's it like coaching your son?
Doesn't
You have to
listen.
pull back a bit,
He doesn't listen much.
doesn't he?
No, it's interesting. I've never done it before. It's a difficult dynamic because you don't want to be too harsh. I have fairly high expectations, and he's a teenager finding his way in the world. So sometimes he's with me, sometimes he's not. But I don't want to go too easy on him either. So it's a delicate balance. I'm trying to find it still, I reckon.
And I mean, you're a busy man. Carlton AFLW, Camberwell Sharks Under 15s, RSN Breakfast, 3AW. Where do you find time to have a rest? Not much.
No, there's no time for rest.
No time for rest?
Rest when you're dead, Dan.
So you're up at, what, 4 o'clock every morning?
Well, and I sleep in these days, 4:30.
4:30.
4:30.
Peter Moody used to say that he never set the alarm for 3, the great horse trainer, 5 past 3, because 3 o'clock was dark.
I'll tell you what, 4:30 is pretty dark too.
It is too.
Getting to this time of year. Yeah, it's great. I talk sport for a living, Dan. You know all about that.
Yeah, I do.
You know all about that. So, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're not curing the great plagues of the planet. We're just talking sport. Grand scheme of things, it's just good fun.
And who wins the AFL? Melbourne too good?
Oh, I think
I
they'll be playing daylight in the grand final because there's no one near them at the moment.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. We know it's a long season. We're nine rounds into 22 and injuries can hit and who knows what happens. But they are just a class above at the moment. They're fantastic to watch.
Yeah, certainly are. Well, Daniel, great to catch up with you. Great that you're involved with the Camberwell Sharks, and we wish Thomas Tonkin and his family all the best, and hopefully he's fit and healthy, and that's the most important thing. Whether he plays footy is probably immaterial, but we hope he's back playing, and your boys unbeaten. I presume today's a draw, isn't it? You were struggling a bit out there today.
No, we were getting our backside handed to us is what we were.
Yes,
so there's no issue there. We're fully aware of the situation as it ended. But
they were very good getting behind the ball, weren't they?
No, they're just really well drilled, a classy outfit, St Mary's. They were very, very good. They're the best team we've played so far.
Right.
So that's a positive for them.
And a positive for you guys too, a challenge for down the track.
Oh, it's great learning for us. Yeah, absolutely. Great learning because the last 2 weeks we've had to earn our wins, I must admit. We've had to work really hard against Kew and Beverly Hills. But this was a level above again from what St Mary's boys showed us. So that's a great sign for them.
Excellent.
Fantastic level of footy.
Good on you. And you like the ground here? It's a great setup here.
First time I've been here.
Yeah.
I didn't know this existed up until this week when we got the fixture.
It's the best part of the world. I've grown up in Ivanhoe.
It's brilliant.
And
it is brilliant. Beautifully done. The change rooms are great. The surface is unbelievable.
It is.
So, yeah, where else would you rather be?
Good on you, Harf. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon.
Good
and we enjoy you on RSN. And as I say, let's hope young Thomas is okay. And good luck for the rest of the year, mate. Great
I appreciate that.
as usual.
Always a pleasure. Be good.
Great Daniel Harford joining us, the coach of the Camberwell Sharks Under 15s, AFLW, of course, and RSN Breakfast as well. Good, and, of course, former Hawthorn and Carlton star. We'll take a break.